Hello and welcome back to my Morrowind playthrough, where today we are off to Vivec to go speak to people about the Nerevarine prophecies and the Ashlanders.
Make it quick, Outlander.
Yeah, whatever. So we need to speak to a Khajiit,
Can we hurry this along?
a lizardy person, whose name skips my mind, and we need to speak to someone in the temple. So,
Go ahead, stranger.
is it? No. It's through and then up. Yeah, it's been a while since I last played. I tend to record these in batches, so sometimes I forget where I'm at. So, first things first, I think it's probably worth going to the temple. Yep, this is where I want to be. Actually, there is a mission I can do in here, isn't there? This is the lizardy person. Begins with A, I can remember that much. I'm just complete mental blank. But here he is. Troublesome fools. The site of a free Argonian offends the... Argonian, that's it! A site of a free Argonian offends these racist thugs. I would tarnish my Morag honour to slay them, and I don't want trouble with my friend Seralis Golmis by fighting in his club. But I must go to my friend's bookstore, where we can talk in peace. If you have a way with words, perhaps you can talk to them. Or if you have a way with money, they might be bought. Otherwise, I fear there must be bloodshed. Friend's bookstore. My friend Jabasha, the Khajiit, has a bookstore. Jabasha's rare books. If you agree to travel together with me there, I'll answer your questions. But before we go, I beg you to persuade these troublesome fools to leave us alone. Otherwise, I feel they will attack us the moment we go to leave.
Yes.
You! Am I talking to you, Fetcher? I'm talking to the filthy lizard, so push off. Blah blah blah, you can stay here forever for all I care, not my problem. Right, so you've been spoken to. Alright, who gives a damn about a filthy lizard anyway? Get out of here, we won't bother you. Excellent. Yeah, fine, it's just a filthy lizard anyway, nothing to get upset about, we'll leave him alone. Go on, get out before we change our minds. You! Travel together. Yes. Out we go. Come on. I think I'm going to be best off going this way.
Citizen.
Or not.
Wealth beyond measure.
Okay. So I need to get him past there. And then the bookstore's down the end here. Whilst I'm here, I'm going to try and grab myself a copy of the Lost Prophecies. So, yes, thank you very much. We should be free from distraction here. Now, I said I'd tell you about the Nerevarine Cult so you can report back to Caius. And I don't know of any 6th house cult, but I'll tell you what I know. To understand the Nerevarine Cult, you must understand the history of the Ashlanders. Nerevar means something very different to the Ashlanders from what it means to the Dhamma of the Great Houses. You should also know about the persecution of the Nerevarine, the legacy of the false incarnate for the Nerevarine Cult is the heart of the ancient conflict between the nomadic Ashlanders and the settled Great House Dhamma. Here is a summary for Caius, but ask your questions I will answer in detail. So, history of the Ashlanders. In the first era, the nomadic Ashlanders and the settled Dhamma clans were very much alike. But after the first council and the formation of the Great Houses, Ashlanders have been steadily forced into the poorest and most hostile lands. Now the nomadic tribes look for the prophesied return of Nerevar for a restoration of their ancient rites and religious traditions. Persecution of Nerevarine. The temple treats the Nerevarine prophecies as heresy, and the temple imprisons and executes heretics unless prevented by imperial law. But since the Nerevarine cult is hostile to the Empire does not interfere when the temple persecutes the cult. Ashlanders hate the temple, and particularly the ordinators, for their ruthless treatment of the Nerevarine cultists. Right. False incarnate. In the past, some have claimed to be the reincarnated Nerevar. The most recent is known as Peakstar, a figure of legend amongst the waste tribes for the last 30 years. The temple says these false incarnates disprove the prophecies, since the false incarnates fail and come to nothing. But the mystical Nerevarine Cult glorifies rather than shrinks from contradictions, citing the appearance of the failed incarnates as certain proof of Nerevar's coming rebirth. That's all I think I need from him. Thank you very much.
You as a friend. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Ordinator. That's the progress of truth that I want to steal. I don't think there's anything up here worth reading, but I know there are some downstairs. We've got the full yeah, we've got a full copy of
Move along.
It's down here, up here, Dance in the Fire. So we're just going to have a quick read of all these. Some of them I've already read. There we go. Now I just need to wait for the Ordinator to come downstairs. Thank you.
Well for me, citizen.
Absolutely nothing. And no one can see me. Yoink! Because I'm not paying what I can steal. Right. Next up, the temple. So...
Can you ask your question?
that's the wrong way. I need to go this way.
What is this about? What is this regarding, Osmond?
Oh, there we go. It's a bit dark. Right, so I come round here. Hey, gondolier! Travel to Arena? Yes. Right. Now, travel to Temple. You, take me to the Temple. There we go. Right, so need to speak to a nice young lady who is, well, she disagrees with temple doctrine. She's not quite a heretic though. Up here.
You may speak.
There we go.
Is there something I can do for you, Outlander?
So you want me to follow you to the back of the library? I can do that. Come on. So, pardon me. Go ahead. I'm afraid I don't know anything about a sixth house cult, but I can tell you about the Nerevarine Cult. The temple worships Nerevar as saint and hero, but prophecies of his reincarnation are punished as wicked heresy. The Nerevarine Cult claims the tribunal are false gods, hence the temple's persecution of the Nerevarine. A group called the Distant Priests, which is what she is, disputes the temple doctrine on the Nerevarine prophecies. The prescribed book, Progress of Truth, describes their beliefs. Get a copy of Progress of Truth for Caius Custodian, whatever. That will tell him things he needs to know about the Nerevarine Cult. So, Dissident Priests. The Dissident Priests dispute temple doctrine and are outlawed and persecuted by the temple. Ordinators and arrested and imprisoned heretics, and the Empire cannot interfere. Progress of Truth lists their beliefs. In brief, they challenge the purity and divinity of the tribunal, suggesting their powers are sorcerous, not divine, and perhaps akin to the powers of Dagoth. They also condemn the arbitrary power of the Ordinators and accuse the temple hierarchy of self-interest and corruption. So, Progress of Truth. This book lists the disputes of the Dissident Priests with tribunal temple doctrine. The temple has outlawed the sale of possession of this book, so it will be hard to find. We have a copy here, but I fear I'm being watched by Ordinators. A safer plan would be to search local booksellers. Some booksellers ignore the temple ban on outlawed books for profits or for principles. Dissident priests persecuted by the temple. Why does the temple persecute the dissident priests? Because attacks on the temple weaken faith and leave the people defenceless against the influence of Dagoth Ur. Faith is what strengthens the will of the believer against Dagoth Ur's lies. Faith is the source of the divine power that sustains the tribunal in their battle with Dagoth Ur. Since the Empire, some Dharma have turned away from the temple. That's why Dagoth Ur grows stronger, why Blightstorms and monsters threaten the land. Watched by Ordinators. I do not care for temple politics, but I have read the Progress of Truth and it troubles me. I have friends, former priests, who have gone into hiding, so I am bound to come to the attention of the Ordinators. I am careful, but I am afraid. I am no secret agent like you or Caius. Sooner or later, I too must go into hiding, if it is not too late. When you return to Caius, tell him I am worried, and that if something goes wrong, I will leave a message under the agreed code word, Amaya. So, that's everything for now, I think.
Yes, Outlander, what may I do for you?
Right, so... I am not stupid enough to try and steal a copy of the book from the temple. Oh, that's the wrong way. I need to go this way. Right, now I just have to find a cheat.
What is this regarding, Bosman? Citizen.
That's neat. Should be in the St. somewhere. Thank you. That's all I needed to know. Which one's St. Olms? That one. So I'm right by the bridge. Nice. Yeah, so we've got to go this way. Right. So I need to go down into the canal works. Is it this side? I'll figure it out. There we go. Hello, kitty. No.
You wish to speak?
Yes. It's the underworks I need. This is the wrong side. Oh well. There we go. Not sure why I'm wasting enchanted arrows. There we go. I don't see a Khajiit down that end. So I probably want to swap sides. I think it's going to be quicker to go up here. And back down here. Is there a Khajiit at the end? Dead rat. So... there. Right. Let's head back up. Again, because I think it's slightly easier. Not that way. Let's pull up the map. Yeah. Should probably put the bow away. Might scare someone. Down here. Yes, excellent. Great. So Kaya says to you, speak with Adherenir. And you have done this thing. You are speaking with Adherenir, but Adherenir will not talk to you about Nerevarine or the Sixth House Cult. And because why? Because Adherenir is, at this moment, very distracted by a nice sentence and excise agent who also wants to speak with her. Do you not know this? They are collected the Emperor's taxes and tariffs, and the Emperor has outlawed trade in many things, like Dwemer artifacts and ebony, and a census and excise agent will enjoy being a pest about such things. For several reasons, a census and excise agent is not Adherenir's favourite person. If you want Adherenir to help you, make the bad agent go away. Then she will tell you things.
You wish to speak?
So, back upstairs. And there should be a customs and excise agent. Oh, wrong way. Where are you, Mr. Customs? There we go. I'm looking for a friend of mine, a female Khajiit named Adherenir. Do you know where I can find her? Yes, her name is Adherenir and she is Khajiit. Do you know where I can find her? Just took a gondola to the mainland. What a disappointment, but thank you for your time. I was just heading back to the mainland myself anyway. And maybe I'll run into her there. Thank you. This way? I think. Yes. Yes! Right. Speak to Kitty again. So, you're the one Adherenir must thank for getting rid of the annoying customs census and excise agent. Indeed, Adherenir is very glad to see you, and very happy to tell a friend of my good friend Caius all about the Sixth House Cult. And Adherenir knows nothing about the Nerevarine, but Adherenir is happy to tell you that too. If it makes Caius happy, ask away, friend Gernarek. So, Sixth House Cult. This Adherenir knows about because it is about smuggling. Some smart smugglers are suddenly too busy for their old clients because they have a new employer, the Sixth House, who pays very well. But what do they smuggle now? Adherenir does not know, because they are very secret. And this is odd, because these smugglers are always loud and bragging, and now they hush up like fat-bellied kitties after fat-bellied kitties full of sweetmeats. Smuggling is big business. The Empire says we can't trade skooma, moon sugar, ebony, Dwemer artifacts, exotic Dunmer weapons and armour, and slaves. So smugglers trade in these things. Smugglers also smuggle Greeth, Shame and Sujamma to avoid imperial tax. And now the Sixth House hires smugglers, though what they smuggle Adherenir cannot say. Okay.
Speak freely.
So, the Sixth House is into smuggling. Fair enough. Alright, let's head back to Balmora and tell Caius what we found out. Trying to remember which way the gondola is. I think there's one over here. So if I head down. Yeah, there's a gondola. And I think I'll take a Stilt Strider back.
Citizen.
There's someone watching you. I can tell.
Yep. Travel to Foreign Quarter. Thank you. Okay, so OpenMW doesn't really like the reflection mods on water. Right, Stilt Strider. You. Take me to Balmora. Thank you. And let's go talk with Caius. Go stash the Progress of Truth at the Fighters Guild. I think we'll carry on doing some more quests for House Halali because Caius isn't going to have much work for us at the moment. Looks like this is going to be a bit of a short episode, but you know.
I'd be happy to talk. My pleasure, really.
I have your report and I'll make copies of your notes from Hulia and the Progress of Truth. Give me time to read and digest all this. In the meantime, I'm promoting you to Journeyman. Yay! You're doing good work, and here are 200 drakes. Go out and treat yourself to a new pair of shoes. And go do some jobs for the guild or other freelance work, just to keep your cover story current. Or get some training then. When you're fit and rested, come back and I'll have new orders for you. Alright. Let's go drop my book off with the... actually... No, I'm going to go drop my book off. Yeah, drop it off at the Fighters Guild. That'll do. I mean, I do have my House Halalu home, which isn't really my home, but the present occupant's not complaining because he's dead. Right. But I've used that home in other playthroughs, so in this one I'm just going to stick to using the Fighters Guild for now.
What can I help you with?
So, let's find the right chest. Is it this one? Yes. So, Progress of Truth. Notes. Mission to Vivec. A letter to Senors Cadiosus. I'm going to keep hold of that because I may want to use it later. We've got Viper Sword, Flame Arrows, Wasting Flame, 2 Viper Arrows. Oh, I've actually got better kit than I thought. Vitality, Summon Skeleton, Undushi Unhinging, Efegi's Gem Feeder, Akasha's Lock Splitter, which is always handy, Divine Intervention, and Almsivy Intervention. Right. So now I'm up to date on that. I've got no gear that I can't sell. I do have a random skull. Oh, that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching. You know how YouTube works.